Welcome back to my channel, guys. Today we're reviewing episode 3 of Ahsoka. I just finished watching it right now. 30-minute episode. It seems like every episode is getting shorter and shorter, and also the episodes are getting less and less intense. So let's go ahead and talk about that. But before we get started, if you guys love talking about anything movies, TV shows, or video game related, consider subscribing down below. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts about the latest episode of Ahsoka or anything Star Wars related. And if you want to go ahead and check out my previous videos, I just recently did a review on Slaughterhouse and also Gran Turismo. And the next video should be a ranking of all summer movies that I saw this year. Now, let's get into Ahsoka. So like I said, it's a 30-minute episode today. And in that 30 minutes, nothing really happens. I mean, there's maybe one major plot point that is not really a major plot point because you would have to assume that that's going to happen already. Because in the previous 2 episodes, we figured out that they got the star map and they found that Ezra and this person that they're trying to find is in a completely different galaxy, and they have to get to that galaxy. So for the first 20 minutes, it feels like, maybe even 15 minutes, it's such a short episode, I don't even keep track of time. For the first 15 to 20 minutes, it's kind of just filler, really, because the beginning of the episode, it just shows this girl talking to the current Senate about the infiltration of the old empire and how there's still people in the empire that are not loyal to the New Republic. And they're just like, well, what do you expect? There's empire people all over the place that we kept on since we created the New Republic. And they kind of just brush her off. And that kind of goes nowhere. And then we have Ahsoka training her new Padawan, which, not necessarily new, she kind of came back from Rebels, right? But the training is just, there's no intensity, there's no respect. You know, she doesn't have respect for Ahsoka from what it feels like. Ahsoka tries to teach her these lessons and she kind of brushes them off like, yeah, I know, I'm good at weapons, but I can't wield the Force. And she said, well, yeah, it takes time. Like, you have to train. And they're just like, yeah, whatever. Like, it doesn't feel like there's a respect for there. Ahsoka tries to give her, you know, some words of wisdom, some training, and then she's not taking it to heart from what it feels like. And then you get to this scene or this sequence when they're in space and they reach this kind of power plant that they feel. And when they come out of hyperspace, it's the enemies, the Sith that are in play here. And they go into this 10 minute type of space battle, and it doesn't feel like there's anything at stake. You know, Ahsoka's ship is getting hit by lasers, thousands of lasers, and nothing happens. And you blatantly see the lasers hitting the ship. They're not missing. Ahsoka's not bobbing and weaving. They're hitting the ship and nothing is happening. Now, I will say the character does say that the reflector shields are at 10% and they're almost going to be done, which, okay, fine, fair enough. You know, the lasers hit and the reflector shields are on, that's why there's no damage. But then the reflector shields lose all their power. They get hit once, little explosion happens, they reboot the ship, the reflector shields aren't on anymore, and they proceed to get hit by lasers over again, and nothing happens to the ship. So there's no intensity, there's nothing that feels like it's at stake. Like, you don't feel like your heroes are in danger, which is kind of frustrating to see. And then they get into this planet and they see this ginormous ring. And they see this ring and they think it's some sort of like ginormous hyper speed kind of plant. And then later on they find out that it is, which is a main plot point, I guess, because now they realize that they're gonna use this hyperspace kind of ring to get to the near galaxy, to get to Thrawn, right? Which, I mean, we already knew that was gonna happen because, yeah, Thrawn is in a completely different galaxy, we knew that there was going to be some sort of ship that was going to get them there, or some sort of Star Wars lore thing that could have used to get them to a whole different galaxy. So they're acting like it's some sort of surprise when it's like, well, yeah, you know, Thrawn and Ezra in a completely different galaxy. Of course, you need some sort of ship to get you there with some super hyper speed technology. What would you think, you know? And then the episode just ends. Basically, they land on this planet where this ring is. The planet that they're on is the same planet that the other Sith are on, where they saw the star map in the first episode or second episode. I don't even remember anymore now. And yeah, now they're all on the same planet together, and the episode just ends. So, bit of a frustrating episode, really. Because it felt like there was nothing at stake. It didn't drive the plot forward, in my opinion. Unless I'm missing something here, let me know what you guys think about this week's episode. But I don't think I'm missing anything. I feel like this episode didn't really do much for me, you know? And I can guarantee a next episode is probably going to be the second half of this episode. So instead of just putting both episodes together, they're going to split it into two and just kind of drag out the plot, where you need key features in every episode to keep you going. You know, like you need those type of shows where when you finish an episode, you have to click next episode. And this doesn't give me that feeling. It doesn't give me that I want next week to be here already so I can see the next episode of Ahsoka. It doesn't give me that feeling, which is upsetting. But I'm still giving it a chance. I hope it takes a huge turnaround. I really hope so. But this week's episode of Ahsoka was a bit frustrating for me. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know again what you guys thought about this week's episode of Ahsoka, episode 3. And I'll see you guys on the next video.